A Lexington caregiver has been arrested after police say she left her sister without food or running water.
An apology today from the president after he reveals 2 hostages were killed in a U.S. drone strike on an al-Qaeda target.
A man once arrested for a multi-county burglary spree is back in jail. We'll tell you what he's accused of.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5.
A woman is in jail accused of neglecting her disabled sister.
Lexington police arrested Terry Neal after they found her sister without food or running water at their home on Silver Maple Way yesterday. It turns out help for the woman was as close as the next door neighbor. WKYT's Mark Barber explains in our top story at 5.
Police say Terry Neal was arrested and charged with exploiting an adult after officers did a welfare check at her home here on Silver Maple Way. Investigators say that's when they found her disabled sister living in a home without food or running water.
I see them out walking around, had no idea anything was wrong.
Terry Mullins, the executive director of Movable Feast, a business that provides meals to the sick and elderly, says he never knew someone was in need right next door. He says he's known his neighbors, 60-year-old Terry Neal and her sister, since 2010, so he was very upset when he learned why Neal was arrested yesterday afternoon.
I was shocked. I really was very shocked.
According to an arrest citation, Neal was supposed to be caring for her sister, who is blind in one eye, has limited mobility, and is not able to care for herself. Officers tell us that when they found Neal's sister during a welfare check, the electricity to the home had just been restored. Police say Neal's sister told them she had not eaten in a day and was depending on neighbors for food.
Very sad that something like that could happen and somebody's not getting help.
We reached out to Neal for her side of the story, but she declined our request for a jail interview. In Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Neal was arraigned on the exploitation charges this afternoon.
Today, the Obama administration revealed a U.S. drone strike accidentally killed 2 al-Qaeda hostages, including 1 American. That strike happened in January on the Pakistani-Afghanistan border. In a morning news conference, the president apologized to the families. We have more now from Washington, D.C.
Flowers and yellow ribbons mark the Maryland home of Dr. Warren Weinstein, one of 2 hostages accidentally killed in a U.S. drone strike.
I profoundly regret what happened. On behalf of the United States government, I offer our deepest apologies.
The drone strikes were conducted in January along the Pakistan-Afghanistan border, the operation targeting an al-Qaeda compound.
My name is Warren Weinstein.
Dr. Weinstein was an aid worker captured in Pakistan and held by al-Qaeda since 2011. Also killed was Giovanni Laporto, an Italian held hostage since 2012. The president said the U.S. did not know hostages were being held at the compound.
I cannot begin to imagine the anguish that the Weinstein and Laporto families are enduring today. I realize that there are no words that can ever equal their loss.
The Obama administration is conducting a review of the strikes. The Weinstein family released a statement saying, "We look forward to the results of that investigation, but those who took Warren captive over 3 years ago bear ultimate responsibility." The family also blamed the Pakistani government for not doing enough to help free Weinstein after all the humanitarian work he had done for the people of that country. Brooke Silva Braga for CBS News, Washington.
The Obama administration says an American al-Qaeda leader was also killed in the drone strike. Another American al-Qaeda leader died in a separate strike back in January.
New information in the case of $100,000 worth of stolen bourbon. Investigators say they continue to take calls from people who bought bourbon from the suspects charged in the investigation that started 7 years ago. Jennifer Palumbo is at the live desk for us with the update. Jennifer?
Amber, Franklin County Sheriff Pat Melton tells me his office continues to get calls from people who bought the stolen bourbon from the suspects, and he hopes the phone keeps ringing. Sheriff Melton says the people who bought the stolen bourbon paid between $1,300 and $1,700 for each barrel. Tuesday, Sheriff Melton announced 9 people accused in what's being called an organized crime ring, selling stolen bourbon and steroids. Several of the suspects worked at Wild Turkey and Buffalo Trace distilleries. Deputies recovered 18 barrels of Wild Turkey and Eagle Rare and at least 25 bottles of rare Pappy Van Winkle. So will all that valuable bourbon have to be destroyed? A blogger known as the Bourbon Babe sent a letter to Governor Steve Beshear today asking him to pardon the pappy. But Sheriff Melton says ultimately it's up to the judge in the case to decide what happens to the evidence. One option could be to return the pappy in sealed bottles to the pappy family. At the live desk, Jennifer Palumbo, WKYT.
Jennifer, thank you. The 9 suspects are due in court in Frankfort on May 22nd.
He went to jail for a multi-county burglary spree, but quickly received parole. Now James Lopez is back behind bars following a chase in Laurel County last night. As WKYT's Phil Pendleton shows us, investigators say it appears Lopez was up to his old crimes again.
James Lopez was arrested here just off of Kentucky Highway 30 last night. Now, he is someone we told you a lot about just a couple of years ago. And when he was finally captured and convicted, he was sentenced to 8 years in prison. But as you're about to see, he did not serve much time of that. We reported on Lopez's actions several times 2 years ago, including multiple break-ins in Anderson, Mercer, Boyle, and Lincoln, and other offenses in Casey. Wednesday, a constable says he received a complaint of a man looking into homes near London. Police told us in 2013 that was a common MO of Lopez, that he would look into homes to see if anyone was home, then break open the door, leaving homes looking like this. Wednesday night, Lopez was arrested after leading the constable on both a vehicle and foot chase. The constable says the TV and tools were found in his car, and Lopez admitted the TV was not his. Eddie Montgomery says he prosecuted Lopez in 2013 on several break-ins in Pulaski County.
Well, he got 5 years from us, 8 years in another county. They run it concurrent, and I think some time from another county for a total of 8 years to serve. And obviously, I think he got paroled after 14 months.
And Lopez remains in the Laurel County Jail, charged this time with wanton endangerment and several other offenses. Coming up at 6 o'clock, more on his latest escapade and more on his short time behind bars. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
The prosecutor says state law allows for parole for most nonviolent crimes after offenders have served 15 to 20% of their sentences. A homeowner helped police arrest a burglar suspect after catching him in the act. The man says he was warming up his car early this morning when he saw someone in his garage. He tackled the man and held him down until police arrived. He says some punches were thrown, but no one was seriously hurt.
You know, I got an adrenaline rush a little bit. You know, if I had thought about it, maybe I wouldn't have done it. But, you know, it was just a reaction and then, you know, just trying to protect my family.
Police have not released the suspect's name, but they say he was charged with burglary. Looks like you'll need to keep those plants covered for another night.
Yeah, we are under a freeze warning overnight before temperatures rebound. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's here now with an early check of the forecast.
Yeah, it was cold this morning. It's going to be even colder tomorrow morning. Little kiss of frost out there with a lot of areas right around freezing. Tomorrow morning, chances are we see a few thermometers into the upper 20s of all things. Freeze warning, as you mentioned, Amber and Sam, out for the entire region for tonight into tomorrow morning. And that includes, obviously, the Lexington metro for the potential for those thermometers to drop into the upper 20s. So a light freeze is very likely, goes without saying. You got to take care of the tender plants and the vegetation. Right on cue this afternoon, temperatures struggling to get out of the mid and the upper 50s. And as we hit the fast forward button on your back porch thermometer for tonight, tomorrow morning, look at the areas going into the upper 20s. Right at 30 for Lexington. By the way, the record low tomorrow morning is 28. At least have an outside shot at that. 28. Forecast low into Mount Sterling, 29. Moorhead into Frankfort. Live first alert defender. Nothing across central and eastern Kentucky. Not expecting anything this evening or even into most of the day tomorrow. But the focus of the forecast is on tracking the potential for severe thunderstorms heading into Friday night and especially the day on Saturday. Guys, coming up here in just a bit, we'll track each and every threat that we're facing over the next 48 hours, and we have at least 5 showing up.
Thank you, Chris. UK coach John Calipari is racking up the awards this year following an incredible basketball season.
And today he received one more honor. WKYT's Rob Bromley's here now to tell us all about it. Hi, Rob.
Hello, John Calipari directing his team to 38 consecutive wins before falling in the Final Four. This afternoon, he accepted the Rupp Cup. The presentation made by Ron Hyatt, president of the Commonwealth Athletic Club, on the left, and Herky Rupp, the son of Adolph Rupp, on the right. Cal came close to sweeping all of the National Coach of the Year awards, and he's now won the Rupp Cup twice.
Twice that I was honored with this award. I can't begin to tell you. And I think the family knows how I feel and the respect I have. And thank you to the Rupp family. Thank you to the Commonwealth Club. And this is a very meaningful award for me.
This man has done a wonderful job of continuing the program. And what he did this season is spectacular as far as we're concerned. And so we've got a soft spot in our heart over the fact that this man's won the award.
Cal said today that Alex Poitras will return next season. That's what everybody was assuming, but there had been no official announcement. He also said he would like to sign 1 or 2 more players. We will have more on that coming up a little bit later. And Herky Rupp talks about his dad. Sam, Amber.
All right, we'll see you then, Rob. Thank you. The Commonwealth Athletic Club named Wisconsin's Frank Kaminsky winner of the Rupp Trophy as Player of the Year. The Senate confirming Loretta Lynch as the new U.S. Attorney General. We'll tell you how Kentucky's senators voted.
It's a change designed to make your home safer, what Home Depot is removing from the flooring it sells in stores.
And a Southern Kentucky Police Department is now using body cameras. We'll show you how they're working out on WKYT News at 5:30.